Alright, what is going on, guys? It is boy Prime Shinobi back in another video, and in this video I'm doing my One Piece chapter 1014 review. uh the chapter is called The Ham, and starting it off, the cover story that we have is Trafalgar Law with a tiger. No, it says reader requests Trafalgar Law puzzling over a riddle in front of a painted tiger screen by Takashi. So that's a little dope cover story I have with Law. It looks like normal Law there, but this chapter, it was definitely one of the better ones as of late, in my opinion. It's big, 20 pages. It was very meaty. Had a lot of like information about what's going on out in Nagashima. But let's get into it. Okay, so the chapter starts out, and it shows an outside view of Onigashima, like the whole island in the air, and it shows Luffy falling through the sky, and Kaido, he's over there talking uh how Luffy used the color of the Supreme King and how he might have used it um, usefully, uselessly and clumsy, and he's mocking him. And he says looking down at Luffy as he falls down, he says he couldn't be Joy Boy either. It seems, which kind of stood out to me because it talks about Joy Boy. Anything that we get about Joy Boy is good because we don't know much about Joy Boy, and it's very rare that we even hear from him at all, or who he was or what he is. But yeah. But okay, so Kaido, he gets a message from one of his communicators. From one of his communicators that says that they found Momonosuke, and apparently Kaido, he says that he's going down back to the battlefield because he's done with Luffy, and the roof battle is completely over. I definitely thought it was gonna end there, like that was gonna be the final battle. It was gonna go for like a bunch of chapters, but Kaido, he's he's going down, and he tells his communicator to announce the results to all of Onegashima, basically announcing the results of the battle of the rooftop. And we cut to the third floor castle where we see Yamato, or as she likes to be called, Lord Odin, Kozuki Odin, and she's plowing through all the enemies, and yeah, she's doing her thing. She's going at it. And we go back to the first floor crawl space where Shinobu is with Momonosuke, and we learned in the last chapter that Momonosuke get a hold of Yamato's journal of the adventures of Odin, and he reads it, and he says, "It would seem that I truly must not die." So he knows more about what's going on, and he's curious, and he knows that he must not die because of all the information that is in there. And yeah, uh, and Momonosuke, he starts like screaming out of nowhere. I don't know if this has something to do with his hearing abilities. Like I believe in the last chapter or a couple chapters ago, he was able to hear or know what's going on the roof somehow. Maybe some sort of observation hockey. I don't know what that is, but he starts screaming out of nowhere. Uh, and then after that, we go to the performance floor Skull Dome, like in one of the battlefields, and we see Queen versus Chopper fighting with Chopper's Monster Point, and Queen in his robotic cyborg dinosaur form. And yeah, so the Kaido's men, they're retaliating against Queen because he betrayed them. He was gonna kill them, right? And he and Chopper saved even the enemies. But yeah, uh, Queen starts talking mess about Chopper, and yeah, there's we see I forgot his name. I think it's the first son of Big Mom, the oldest one, the one with the candy, the one that killed the one that caused Pedro's death. I forgot his name, but he's there. Uh, and Chopper says that he's been fighting Queen for a little bit now. He says he only has 10 minutes left to fight and defeat Queen to get him over with. And we actually get a flashback to way back, uh, of Chopper and Caesar, in which uh, Chopper's telling Caesar about how his monster point um, he can't go longer than 3 minutes in his monster point, even though he can control it because he learned to control his monster point after the time skip. So and yeah, so Caesar's he's kind of encouraging Chopper to improve it, because he says, then what? Are you so precious about your looks and you call yourself a pirate? Basically mocking him. Chopper doesn't like that, and Caesar, he tells Chopper to get a certain list of chemicals, so that he can stretch his gigantification time to 30 minutes. And so basically, in his own twisted, weird Caesar way, he motivates Chopper to fix and to improve his Rumble Ball. So now Queen, he shoots his black beam at Chopper called Black Coffee Beam. Chopper dodges it. Uh, Perodine, I think that's what his name is. He he's just there on the battlefield shooting these kind of candy arrows and making them rain on the whole battlefield. But yeah, then we get to see Kaido's communicators, and they're talking. They're trying to dis- display a message to each other, talk to each other, communicate throughout the battlefield. And one of them announces to everyone, because it hears all over the battlefield, that the fight is over and that Luffy Taro, or Luffy, has been defeated, and all the Straw Hats are shocked by this. Uh, Marco, he's shocked because Marco's still fighting King. I think I remember. Frankie is obviously in shock. He's in his battle Frankie mode. Jinbei. We see Kaido in his dragon form. He's going down, and Kaido's person that is communicating through this tells all the Straw Hats, including Law, Marco, and all of them, that if they surrender now, they'll be able to be alive as Kaido's followers, but they would have to surrender and give up their Straw Hat alliance-ness, I guess. And of course, the Straw Hats, they do not disagree. It shows Sanji and Zoro saying screw that. They're not gonna do it because they're loyal to Luffy to the very end, which I respect because we know the Straw Hats. They've been through thick and thin. They're not gonna give up anything for each other. But then after that, we cut to the passage to the first floor crawl space, and we see Kanjuro is alive again. I swear I thought he died, like the when he fought the Akazaya, Ashura Doji. That's when we thought he died, because that was his last fight. Last time we saw him, we catch up back to Shinobu Momonosuke, and Kinemon and Kiku. They make their way there, and Momonosuke, he's crying. He knows something, and yeah. But we see Kanjuro, since we shows Kanjuro back at it again. He appears as Lord Odin again, and Shinobu almost gets tricked, but Kiku tells Shinobu that it's not him. Momonosuke obviously believes this, even though he never knew Odin. Well, he did know Odin. What? But Shinobu, she's already diving in head first, and she's pissed off because Kanjuro, he's trying to trick about getting Odin, getting them to believe that he's Odin again, and she is pissed off. And she starts reminiscing on what happened to Ashura Doji, and it seems he's alive in this flashback. That Ashura Doji is many little flashback on the same like panel as it shows Kiku's face, because Kanjuro and Ashura Doji were friends at one point, but Odin, or I should say Kanjuro, he starts using, he starts psychologically getting into her head by saying things from her past about how the real Odin took Izo and Kiku in, and she starts crying, and she gets impaled by Kanjuro's blade, and she is not in good shape. We see Kanjuro and Shinobu; they are in shock, and Kiku, she's crying her eyes out. I mean, he's bleeding, and she took a fatal wound. She's already lost an arm, and she falls into Kanjuro's arms, and she's not looking in good shape. There's a chance that she could die. I hope she doesn't. But yeah, she's talking like all um motivational, and Kiku, she might be at the end of her rope. I hope she isn't. I hope Oda keeps her alive. I really like Kiku. She's one of the best Akazaya 9. They're all great, but she's one of our favorites. You know, we met her like around the very beginning, and and Conjure Kinemon, he's crying, he's pissed off. He has bandages all over, cause obviously from his fight after with Kaido. He cut cuts Kanjuro. Sorry, he cuts Kanjuro in the stomach area, and there we go. So now Kanjuro, he brings up things from her past, things from his past with Kinemon, talking about how if anyone should choose to close the curtains on my act, it ought to be you, because in the plays that they had, they were friends. They were always the best of friends on stage since uh, Kanjuro was a kabuki play actor. He was an actor. So now this is serious, and out of nowhere, Kaido pops up out of nowhere. As it just had to be Kaido at this time, and Kinemon tells Shinobu to take Momonosuke and run away. And Kaido, as soon as he sees them, he goes in full, full all in. He grabs his weapon, he slams it down, and Kinemon, he goes in, he tries to shield himself with both his blades, and it even shows the blade broken off. And Kinemon, he gets slammed on the head. It looks like, and it's not looking good. Momonosuke is crying for Kinemon, and Onigashima, since it was in the air all this time, and Onigashima was in its own spot, it's now in it's now on reaches the mainland of Wano, which a lot of people, including myself, predicted that at some point Wano was gonna have to reach the mainland, and it was gonna be like some Independence Day type stuff, where the land of Onigashima will fall on the mainland, and it will just be hell unleashed on Wano. But yeah, those are the end of chapter 1014. Next chapter hits June 6th, so no break. I really like this chapter. Like I said, it was very meaty. It was long and 20 pages. I'm excited to see what happens next. Hopefully, Kiku isn't dead. Uh, hopefully, Kinemon is alright. And let's see if someone can save Luffy. Luffy's currently falling down to his death. It's not looking good for the Alliance right now. We had we had the odds on our side, and now it's just going all to pieces. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and see you in the next one. Peace.